This is Joseph Barone of A Fool for Learning, and our foolish thought for today is Virtual Learning Tips Part 2. In the September-October 2020 issue of Training Magazine, Bob Pike covered a number of strategies if you wish to conduct virtual learning. This is the second podcast in which we'll take a look at these strategies. Now, again, let me say that many of these are not new strategies, and I have covered a couple of them in previous podcasts. But it's always good to take a moment to review them. So let's take a look at number 3 and number 4. Number 3, create a flow from your webinar and design the hour around the 90-20-4 principle. First question we have to ask ourselves is, what is the 90-20-4 principle? This is based on the 90-20-8 principle, which is that adults can listen with understanding for up to 90 minutes. However, they only listen with retention for 20 minutes, and we need to involve them in some sort of interaction every 8 minutes. For virtual training, Bob Pike recommends that we involve participants in some sort of interaction every 4 minutes. Now, here's where I have seen some differences with Bob Pike. For example, I have a friend who's a college professor, and he believes in the 15-minute rule. In other words, learning must be broken down into 15-minute chunks, and that each chunk must be slightly different. For example, the first chunk may cover part of an assigned reading, and the second chunk covers an article that a group of students were to report on. Then the third chunk might go back to the reading assignment. On the other hand, in talking with an instructor of a very, very well-known large training and learning firm, this instructor believes that you should have an interaction of some sort every 2 minutes, even if it is simple as asking people to raise their hands. Now, I think that every 2 minutes is a bit too much, but that's just me. Point number 4 is to go over your handout, visuals, content, and flow with your producer. Now, many facilitators and instructors have a producer to assist them, and the role of the producer is to handle the chat, advance the slides, handle the polls, etc. In other words, handle all of the technical details. Now, this goes along with a previous podcast in which I talked about a co-facilitator. You need to work through all of the details and to practice with your producer. Don't walk in cold and expect things to go perfectly, because you know what? They won't. I've given you a lot to unpack today, so think about it a little bit. Take some of these things to heart. In my next podcast, I'll talk about the dry run and the flow. I hope that you'll listen in. To learn more about A Fool for Learning, or if you wish to contact me to assist you and your organization with an appropriate learning solution to meet your business needs, please visit my website at afoolforlearning.com. This is Joseph Barone, the CEO of A Fool for Learning, signing out. Remember, learn, perform, succeed.